Good evening, wrestling fans. We're your hosts, Jaden
and Lewis, and this is Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Welcome back to another edition of Evolution of Pro Wrestling, wrestling fans. This show tonight is going to be off the charts. We've had numerous topics. Last week was about The Undertaker. The last week was about The Shield, and we just keep stirring the pot each and every week. Today, we're going to have a serious topic, which I know me and my son are definitely going to get into it, as always, which is going to be crazy. But before we get into this topic today, we just want to make one announcement that shocked the WWE and wrestling world. Eric Bischoff was fired as executive director of SmackDown, and Bruce Pritchard was put in place. That was a shocker. You know, that pretty much was a message sent by Vince McMahon. I'm going full force with Fox 5, excuse me, with the Fox channel and professional wrestling. Now, speaking of Fox, this brings us to our topic for today. Jaden, tell them what we're going to be talking about today.
Tonight's topic is, oh my goodness, a crazy topic. The wrestling draft. We're going to be talking about the draft that recently just happened for wrestlers on SmackDown, wrestlers on Raw. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. See, the Raw and SmackDown shake-up, the draft is so amazing because it's full of surprises. You never know what's going to happen. Sometimes people are new to a certain place. Sometimes people could be new to SmackDown. Sometimes people can be new to Raw. You never know. You see new faces every time, which means new opponents, new challenges, new everything, which gives a great show for the people. So I'm just absolutely looking forward to this.
Absolutely. And when you come to the draft, like you mentioned, when it comes to the WWE Draft, superstars that weren't in certain brands are now in brands. And we were shocked to see certain people that were drafted into certain brands and some that are still with the brand that may need a push, might get a push. Who we're going to discuss that today, who we thought should not have been drafted to Raw and who not should have been drafted to SmackDown. Who we think should get a push, what type of matches we want to see in these brands. So we're just going to go ahead with it.
Okay, now, I'm mixing it up today. The person who I do not want to see on Raw, oh my god, you're going to be surprised. Seth Rollins.
Why?
I do not want to see him on Raw because I want to see him on SmackDown.
And why would you want to see him on SmackDown?
Because I wanted to see him and Bray Wyatt start a rivalry.
Okay, well, that rivalry is over because Bray Wyatt went to... went to SmackDown, The Fiend.
Don't get me wrong. Raw, okay, but if you think about it, Raw is like his hometown. Like he's always in Raw. Like it's rare that Seth Rollins would go into SmackDown. So I would like to see something new happen. I would like to see him go to SmackDown at least one time throughout his career.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's not the flagship bearer of Raw. You know what I mean? And you got other guys that got drafted to Monday Night Raw that he could probably start a rivalry with. You know, this thing with the Fiend burning down the Firefly house on Monday Night Raw. Okay, it's a good build-up, but I don't know if you notice, a lot of fans are booing Seth Rollins. You know, that's why I said this man is better as a heel, and especially now that he is on Raw and the Fiend is in SmackDown, this might be able to be a push for Seth Rollins to turn heel and have a certain rivalry with certain superstars. One in particular, which I would not mind having him in a rivalry with, which I would like to see this gentleman turn face, Drew McIntyre. Tell me something different. Come on.
All right. I agree about the rivalry thing, but turning face, no.
Why not?
Because he's a great heel. Look at his heel character.
But that's what I'm saying. It will make him even more better as a face if he comes with that same attitude and turns into a face.
What's the point of being a face?
That could be another Stone Cold Steve Austin. Look at Stone Cold. Stone Cold was neither a face or a heel.
Exactly.
But he kept going.
As a face. Put him as none. He doesn't need to be a face or a heel. He can be both, or not even both. He can just be zero. He doesn't have to be a heel or a face. He could just be him. He can have a rowdy attitude, but he can also save people, or he can also, have a rivalry with people. That's what makes characters in the draft so unexpected because, new rivalries will probably start to happen or new wrestlers will come into play. So you never know what to expect in the draft.
No, but that's what I'm saying. With Drew McIntyre coming into the mix now, nobody's seen Drew McIntyre since, I believe, Extreme Rules when he fought The Undertaker. You know what I mean? So with him coming into the mix, I think they should definitely put him against Seth Rollins and have that rivalry going.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's like, what else is there to have when it comes to certain things? You know what I mean? Like, okay, we saw Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre going at it with each other before. Okay, so when Drew McIntyre was a heel, Roman Reigns was getting some publicity, but now Roman Reigns is on SmackDown, which tonight on SmackDown, he's actually going to fight Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental title. What do you think of that matchup now with this new draft that Shinsuke and Roman Reigns have been drafted to SmackDown?
That could actually be the start of a rivalry. I would honestly enjoy that rivalry since Shinsuke is like a crazy, insane heel who's always doing this weird thing in the ring, and Roman Reigns, the big dog, is not a person to play with. So that would be a great rivalry, especially for two guys that are almost good competitors to each other since Roman Reigns overthrows him a little bit since Roman Reigns is much of a powerhouse and Shinsuke is more like a high flyer, kick to the chin, stuff like that. So it goes, opposite people, opposite characters, which leads to a good rivalry. So I think that would be a good rivalry.
Now, when you mention rivalry, I think personally the person I did not want to see drafted was AJ Styles.
To which brand?
I didn't want him on Raw.
Yeah.
I didn't want him on Raw.
Do you want him? Okay, I got another question. Well, I have a question. Would you prefer AJ Styles on SmackDown or the OC on SmackDown?
I would prefer all of them. AJ Styles and OC. You know why? Because then they could have taken on the New Day.
Oh.
That would have been a perfect rivalry. That's why I didn't like that. I didn't like that style, that draft that AJ Styles and OC stayed on Monday Night Raw. I would have preferred them to come to SmackDown, take on the New Day. And also AJ Styles could have taken on the likes of Roman Reigns, Shinsuke Nakamura, Daniel Bryan, The Miz who got drafted to SmackDown. You know what I mean?
I think I know what they're trying to do, and I'm really not gonna enjoy this, but I think they're trying to put the OC with probably one of the tag teams like the Viking Raiders. They're probably gonna have them go as a
the Viking Raiders did just become new WWE Raw Tag Team Champions.
Don't get me wrong. The Viking Raiders are doing good.
That was something that came out and made it spectacular when it came to the Viking Raiders, because now they're this new up and coming tag team. They're doing something new. They're going up against every single tag team, and especially now that the Street Profits coming from NXT, they have a rivalry going with the OC. They're coming in full effect when it comes to something like that. So it's going to be interesting in the new tag team division to see how it's going to go. You know what I mean? And then now we have the women's division that got shaken up.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, Reg? Thanks for watching, brother. We have Bayley, the new Bayley, new heel Bayley, which I love that character.
Okay.
I was waiting for that character to come out, and it came out. Like, it was amazing to see something like that. And now she's going up against the likes of Lacey Evans. Sasha Banks is on SmackDown now.
Wait, really? Sasha Banks is on SmackDown?
Sasha Banks is on SmackDown now. You now have a trade that happened with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss on SmackDown.
That could be a rivalry right
exactly.
There.
I would know.
Those two, I would love to see
that. Oh, absolutely.
Two of the most phenomenal wrestlers against two of the most next phenomenal wrestlers. They're both great. They both are good competitors in the ring. Sasha Banks, already a heel. She came back as a heel. Bayley, I am absolutely loving her character right now. I was waiting for them to release that out on Bayley. Like, it's no more giving hugs, none of that. Now Bailey has this whole new attitude, this whole new look. She even got a new look.
She got a new haircut. She got a new haircut, new attire, everything. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what she's gonna do.
Especially with her and Sasha Banks, I am looking forward to seeing what they have.
No, absolutely. And with the both of them heel, they can definitely take over the women's division when it comes to that. Now, as I mentioned about AJ Styles, I didn't want him to be on Raw. Another one I actually like that came on Monday Night Raw is, which I think would be the perfect candidate to also have a rivalry with Seth Rollins, Aleister Black. Aleister Black and Seth Rollins going at it with each other. That would be an amazing match.
I would pay to see that.
That would be an amazing match. Aleister Black, come on, Aleister Black and him, those two are great individuals. They both have great talent. I would pay to see the match.
Okay, now I would pay to see it, but if they're gonna make that match, at least make Seth Rollins a heel before that, so they can actually start up a rivalry before they actually put up a match. Because Aleister Black is one of the hottest wrestlers right now.
What if they make Aleister Black a heel?
Well, okay. Aleister Black basically has the character of a heel. You know, he's one of the top hottest superstars right now. You know, he's on the top of the billboards. He's on the top of the charts in the WWE. Everyone knows him now. So, he already has, basically, he has the character of a heel. You know, he comes up, you know, his little theme, which is really amazing, especially for a face. So, all they gotta do is, you know, keep the theme song, keep the entrance, but make the guy the heel. Make the guy the bad guy. I guarantee if they make him a heel, the tickets, the ratings will go up high.
But this is what I'm saying. Now that this draft is in motion, new rivalries are happening. Right. To me, I think Aleister Black should get a new push. He should get a push going towards the Universal title, takeover, or whatever.
Or not even the use of a Universal title.
Why, come on. No, why not the Universal title?
So you rather him have the Universal than the WWE?
Either or. They're both top. They're both top titles.
He should get WWE.
They're both top titles.
Still, there's no title.
What bothered me in the draft, which was to me, and I'm sorry, excuse my French, was total bullshit, was drafting Brock Lesnar to SmackDown. The man is a part-time wrestler. WWE champion. I still don't know why the hell they gave this man a WWE title.
We're not even gonna get started.
Why did you draft him? Take the title away from this man, and then to top it off, you put him against Cain Velasquez at Crown Jewel. Listen, nothing.
And then to top it off, they're gonna give him the title.
Nothing against this man, Cain Velasquez. The man is a UFC fighter, former heavyweight champion of UFC. He's an attraction for the WWE, but to me, it's a disrespect to the talent that has worked hard in professional wrestling in the WWE to try to even give this man a title, to put him in a title match against Brock Lesnar. Why? Because you want ratings, you want money? No, this is professional wrestling. This is entertainment. Yes, I understand that. Sports entertainment. But that should not go down that way. Same thing, another thing that Braun Strowman was drafted to SmackDown. Okay, that was a good draft, in my opinion. What, you didn't like that?
I'm not judging, but I feel like it's not gonna go well since Brock Lesnar is on SmackDown, because you know Brock Lesnar doesn't go for a specific person. He just goes for anyone, especially if you call him out.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I am not looking forward. I do not want them to have another rivalry or a rivalry at all. It's time for Braun Strowman. I think they should give Braun Strowman a little bit more push. They should give him.
They've just been tearing him down. They haven't really been doing much for him, so that's why they put him on SmackDown. What I'm looking forward to see, which I will want to see, is a rivalry between Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt.
Oh yes,
that would be an interesting war in SmackDown. You want to make some ratings? Exactly. You want to bring some ratings? You want fans to tune in? The Fiend against the Big Dog would be a hell of a rivalry.
The old times, they had a rivalry going on back when Roman Reigns was in the Shield and Bray Wyatt was in the Wyatt family. Now these guys are all split apart and they have their own characters. The Fiend is just messing up every single person. And the Fiend can take a hit.
Of course he can take it. You saw what happened with Hell in a Cell. The man took a whole bunch of hits.
Literally almost killed him. And Seth Rollins threw a ladder at him, a toolbox, hit him in the head with a hammer.
Everything.
He got right back up.
Everything that happened.
Literally, he got right back up.
That's what I'm saying, and I would like to see that rivalry go, because Roman Reigns won't know. Roman Reigns won't know what hit him if the same thing happens with Seth Rollins with Bray Wyatt.
He won't know what hit him, but we also have to be careful with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns will spear you in a heartbeat.
Of course,
Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt or Roman Reigns are both not people to play with. When it comes to strength, Roman Reigns probably outdoes Bray Wyatt. When it comes to scariness, agility, Bray Wyatt overthrows Roman Reigns. That's what makes those guys different, but that's what makes such a great rivalry. If you're gonna carry on a rivalry with different people going to new drafts or new places, you should at least make the rivalry different. Make the rivalry different from each other. So make the people different. Don't put like two heavyweights against two heavyweights. Don't put like a lightweight versus like a lightweight. Mix it up a little bit. Put like a lightweight versus a heavyweight. Do that. Do those type of things. That's what gets the crowd hype. Just for example, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, perfect example. But back to what I was saying. That is what makes such a great draft on SmackDown. SmackDown, if these guys carry a rivalry, SmackDown can possibly get their ratings even higher.
No, absolutely.
Than Raw.
They can.
If those guys carry off a rivalry,
absolutely, they would love that rivalry. I would love to listen. I would pay to see that rivalry going.
Yes.
And when you speak also about the draft, there's one person in particular I want to see get pushed is Andrade.
Oh yeah,
Andrade, he is a good Hispanic individual. His talent is surpassed. I don't know what they're doing with this man, but I think he can get championship gold.
Absolutely.
The person I did not want to see on Raw drafted was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens should have been in SmackDown, and it was just something that was not something I agreed with.
Okay, now, Dad, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What do you think Cedric Alexander should have been drafted to?
I say SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Why not?
Why SmackDown?
Why don't Raw? He can't handle Monday Night Raw.
What do you mean he can't handle Monday Night Raw?
You telling me Cedric Alexander can handle Monday Night Raw? He can handle AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Ricochet, Randy Orton. You kidding me?
What are you doubting this man for, Dad? Get back into Earth.
Here we
Jump
go.
down off of.
And it's officially started. It's officially started, fans. Here we go.
Off of the moon.
Here we go.
Come back
okay, tell me, Mr. Bosa, Jaden Bosa.
Okay, I will tell you
what Cedric Alexander can do for Monday Night Raw.
Cedric Alexander,
and who he could take on and beat.
He can take on as many people as he wants. This is what you need to understand about WWE society. Nothing else is about powerhouses anymore. Nothing is about doing suplexes. Nothing. There's nothing else about that. You can't even lie. Everything now is kicks and flips.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Almost everyone on the Raw roster.
Who? How?
Okay, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Ricochet. A few other people are on.
I even think
Cedric Alexander.
I even think Ricochet should have not been drafted to Raw. He should have stood on SmackDown.
Why SmackDown?
Because of the lights.
He can handle it.
Listen, it's not the fact of handling it. It's the ratings. It's the people they can take on. The rivalries that happen. Okay, so that means you wouldn't want to see Ricochet against Roman Reigns.
Against Roman Reigns?
You wouldn't want to see.
Are you kidding me?
What? You just
I'm gonna put him against Aleister
You
Black.
just mentioned that the fact that you want to see different matches. You don't want to see heavyweights. You don't against heavyweight, lightweights against lightweights. You put Roman Reigns against Ricochet. You got a heavyweight against a high flyer. So that's the difference.
Roman Reigns has more experience. Roman Reigns will destroy him.
How would you say that? Why would you say that?
Because Ricochet is still new to the WWE.
That doesn't mean anything.
He doesn't know what these guys are about.
That's the whole point.
Oh
the way the man flips, the way he's so acrobatic, the way he's so acrobatic, fans. He can take on the best there is.
Okay, but answer me this. If he was never acrobatic, would he win anything at all?
Of course he would.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
No, he would not.
Okay, I'll prove you wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
Braun Strowman, is he acrobatic?
He doesn't have to be acrobatic.
Exactly, because
Look at the Big Show. Big Show wasn't acrobatic.
And he won.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Because they're light, they're heavyweights. They're heavy set men. Ricochet is a small lightweight. When do you ever see a lightweight throwing people on the ground, throwing them out of the ring with one hand?
They don't have to throw them out the ring. They could just use the agility and the fast movement.
That's exactly what I'm saying. If Ricochet didn't have none of that, he wouldn't have been the man who he is today.
Okay.
That's exactly what I just said.
That's what I'm
Everything
saying.
is now about flipping. No, use different things. All they do is a flip, hop, and a kick out the ring.
But that's what's
wow.
but that's what catches the attention of the fans.
Yeah, and the fans are starting to get boring.
How?
How?
How are they getting boring
They're constantly doing the same moves over
No,
and
Ricochet
over.
changes it up. What you mean?
Ricochet changes it up, but what about all the other people?
Okay, name a few.
Okay, Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Even though he's my favorite wrestler, still, Seth Rollins. He does the regular suicide dive.
Okay.
Okay, we understand that.
Okay.
AJ Styles. He does the regular phenomenal
But that's their signature, Jaden. That's what it means when you're in professional wrestling. That's your signature.
Make a more death-defying signature if you're such a high flyer.
But that's what's catching the attention of the fans. It's that main signature.
Oh my God.
You kidding me right now?
Dad, fly off of the moon.
Oh
and come
my
back
God!
To Earth.
You kidding me right now?
Snatch them gray hairs out your head.
Okay. Take it easy with the gray hairs, okay? Yes, I got gray hairs. I'm old, but I'm still old enough to kick your ass. Okay? Which soon, fans, we're gonna have that damn wrestling match that I'm gonna whip his ass. Just tune in for that in the coming weeks. Anyway, back to conversation.
They still don't understand.
All right. Cedric Alexander. This is the topic. We went to from Cedric Alexander to the entire roster.
Yes.
So listen, not taking anything away from Cedric Alexander.
It sounds like that to me.
The man is a phenomenal athlete as a cruiserweight. He cannot deal with the likes of Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, or Seth Rollins.
Ricochet can do this.
Ricochet's better.
No.
Ricochet's better than Cedric.
Just like I said before. If Ricochet wasn't flipping, if he wasn't
That's got nothing to do with it. That's got nothing.
He's a lightweight, Dad. He is a lightweight. A lightweight is supposed to
be a lightweight that's won the United States title already. What has Cedric won?
He's won the cruiserweight title.
Oh, man.
It's still a title.
Yay, the cruiserweight title. Nothing.
Cruiserweight. What do you expect?
Don't matter.
What do you expect?
That don't matter.
Win the WWE title
okay,
right away?
let me ask you a question. Does Seth Rollins look like a heavyweight?
No, he
exactly.
does not.
And he's the Universal Champion. That's what I'm saying. It's got nothing to do.
Look at Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's a heavyweight. He's not supposed to be a heavyweight, and he won the WWE title.
Sucks.
Exactly my point.
We ain't even gonna get into that. Cedric Alexander is a good, phenomenal athlete. He's a good high flyer, but to me, he cannot deal with the best of them. I'm sorry. I just can't. Now, maybe, if the man becomes a heel, maybe he becomes a heel, he gets that heel change, then they'll give him a push. But until then, I don't see WWE giving him a push. WWE is not going to give him that push. Yes. I'm sorry. They don't even see it coming.
They're not going to give him the push, but if he was to get that push, he would be a great
wrestler. So what do you think about Samoa Joe being drafted to Raw?
They should have drafted him to SmackDown.
Why?
He could have had a few rivalries going on. He could have had a rivalry. I know you're probably not going to like this. He could have had a rivalry with Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan.
He already did.
The Miz.
He already did with Kofi Kingston. He already did with the Miz. It was boring.
Okay.
It was boring.
Okay, what about Aleister Black?
Now that's a good rivalry.
New rivalry.
Exactly.
Aleister Black and Samoa
Keyword, Jaden. Follow with me. New.
I was
NEW.
I was the one who came up with new
rivalry. Okay. Forget about mentioning old rivalries from before. Okay. You talk about Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston is on SmackDown.
And
okay. What you trying to do interpromotional rivalries?
I'm not saying nothing, but
you just said it.
What's the problem with Kofi Kingston on SmackDown? What's the problem? We need the answer.
Listen, his push is over.
His push is over?
He lost in 9 seconds to Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry.
Okay, and whose fault is that? His? He can't control that. He can't control that.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Listen, his push is over.
No, his push is not over.
You think he's gonna get another title shot?
Dad, he has been waiting for that opportunity for at least 11 years.
Okay.
At least.
And do you think they're gonna give him that same
title for like 5 months?
And you think they're gonna give him that same opportunity again?
Yes, they should.
Okay.
And if they don't, they're screwing him over.
Of course.
And I would absolutely hate that because he waited partially all of his wrestling career just to get that title, and they only made him hold it for like 3 months.
Okay, so
and Brock Lesnar's I got 2 words for Brock. Brock sucks. Literally, he's about is suplex city. That's it, and it's really starting to get on my nerves.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because they keep constantly giving him titles, and he's not even a full-time wrestler.
Listen, the issue is here that Vince McMahon wants to drafted Brock Lesnar to SmackDown. You're trying to give somebody a title that is pretty much a part-timer. He doesn't do anything, and it's just bad. So it just blows my mind that it even happened. That having a champion on that brand that doesn't even do anything. They should have kept Kofi with the title, let him get drafted into the title, and start a new rivalry.
Okay, I agree with that. But a person I would like to see go to SmackDown and swap places is Daniel Bryan goes to Raw and Kevin Owens goes to SmackDown. That is honestly my true opinion. I would love to see Daniel Bryan start a rivalry with one of these new wrestlers that are in Raw. Like, I would love to see Daniel Bryan go into Raw. Daniel Bryan is one of those type of wrestlers, even though he's heel, Daniel Bryan will get you up out of your feet. Daniel Bryan is one of those type of wrestlers which I absolutely enjoy watching in the ring, heel or face.
I actually have to agree with you with that.
Okay.
Because I would have wanted him on. Yes, he's on SmackDown. Okay, B show. But I would have wanted him on Raw because I would have wanted him to go up against the likes of Ricochet,
exactly,
Aleister Black, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton. All those superstars, I would have wanted to see Daniel Bryan take on this man.
Going back to Aleister Black, I would like to see him and Ricochet start a rivalry.
Oh, absolutely. That's the only thing I can say about Ricochet being on Raw. That's it. Other than that, I want him on SmackDown.
Aleister Black as a heel going with a rivalry against Ricochet, best rivalry in a million years.
Of course.
Honestly.
Of course.
This is one of those type of rivalries, though, where they're both high flyers, which I'm not gonna knock, because sometimes you need to mix it up, but sometimes you need to put 2 high flyers together, and if you put 2 high flyers in the same match, in the same ring, who knows what's gonna happen? God knows what will happen. So I'm honestly gonna say that I will enjoy 2 high flyers having a rivalry together.
Yep, absolutely. That's one thing that I'm definitely gonna enjoy, seeing these guys on Monday Night Raw, and there is one person in particular which I'm glad he's drafted, but he's kind of funny. He's not a big star, but it's entertaining to see it. R-Truth running with the 24/7 championship and superstars going at it.
If you think about it, that's honestly the best thing going on right
now.
No,
it's funny. It's funny. It's entertaining.
The hottest thing because everyone's enjoying it. Everyone sees R-Truth getting pinned down on the plane on the golf course, hiding. It's crazy. Like that's what the 24/7 title's about. So I think that's like the hottest topic right now. Just because everybody's enjoying it and everybody's having a good laugh about it. Since it's entertaining and it's funny.
Well, there is one person that I think WWE is really screwing up.
Who was that?
That got drafted to Raw, which I think he could be a phenomenal superstar. EC3.
Yeah, they're messing.
He got drafted to Raw. Bring this man up to character, WWE. Do it. Paul Heyman, you can build a man. Do it. Listen to the fans. Get him going. Stop the bullshit. Excuse my French. I know I got a 13-year-old, but he probably's heard more.
I've heard those.
He's heard worse.
It's okay.
But he doesn't know more than me in wrestling, so. Anyway, back to our conversation, because, yeah, I'm too old to remember, but I'm smart enough to know Cedric doesn't belong on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Anyway, come again. We also have Eric Rowan that was drafted to Monday Night Raw.
I think he should be on SmackDown.
Yeah, I would have kept him on SmackDown. I didn't really like that draft.
I would prefer Eric Rowan. I would prefer Luke Harper to be on Raw.
Yeah. Now, Jaden, we're talking about all these singles competition. What about the tag teams that were drafted on certain brands? We had the Street Profits in Monday Night Raw. We had the Heavy Machinery.
The OC.
The OC, Monday Night Raw. The Heavy Machinery on SmackDown. The Revival on SmackDown.
The B Team.
The B Team on SmackDown. And the New Day. So, what do you think about the New Day and the Heavy Machinery?
That's a good one right there. I would love to see the Heavy Machinery and the New Day go against each other. You know, the New Day has been in this ring long enough to realize what pain, blood, and sweat is actually about. And the Machinery, those guys are dangerous. Literally, the perfect word for those guys. Their name says it all. The Machinery, which is a scary name, especially for guys like them.
See that?
And they're big guys, so that's the bad.
No, but you see, I enjoy them on SmackDown, but I would definitely want them to come to Raw for the simple fact to take on the Viking Raiders.
I agree.
I want to see that. I would
love to see a triple threat match with the Machinery, the OC, and the Vikings.
Well, supposedly there's going to be the biggest tag team gauntlet match, I believe. I'm not sure if it's a gauntlet, but there's going to be a big tag team match on Crown Jewel, I think, with 8 tag teams that are going to be wrestling against each other. And I think they're involved in that.
It's like
so
16
that's a lot of men that's going to be involved in that.
16 men.
No, listen, this draft, hopefully it's a blessing. Hopefully we can get some new rivalries going, because quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of seeing the Randy Ortons against Kofi Kingston and Braun Strowman against Brock Lesnar, or Braun Strowman against Roman.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Dad, but a rivalry I would also like to see is Daniel Bryan and The Fiend. What? No
way. The Fiend will beat the bejesus out of him. Nope.
I doubt
that won't work.
I doubt
Come on, you kidding me? We're gonna go through this again?
Yep, we're absolutely gonna go through this again.
How can you
mention a wrestler who has more experience?
No, forget about the experience. Look what Bray Wyatt did to Seth Rollins.
Okay.
So what do you think? What do you think? The man took everything he had.
Oh wow.
He took 7 curb stops and then chair shots and all that stuff. And you telling me Daniel Bryan can take on The Fiend?
Doesn't mean nothing.
He's no match for him.
He can take hits.
No.
He can take hits. That's like a heavyweighted Shane McMahon.
Stop it.
Bray Wyatt is like a heavyweight Shane McMahon. He can take hits.
No.
Daniel Bryan is full of surprises.
No.
Dad, please come back.
You come back into this earth. That rivalry is terrible. I'm sorry.
No.
If you want to put a rivalry going, put The Fiend against Braun Strowman.
What?
What?
Oh my God.
What's wrong with that rivalry?
They were.
What, because they were in the Wyatt family together? They're 2 totally different characters now.
And the point is?
Oh my Lord.
Your point, I'm asking a question. Your point is?
That now the rivalry will be even more better. You seen the rivalries that Braun Strowman has had with Roman Reigns in the past?
Stop. That's Roman Reigns. That's a totally different wrestler. We're not talking about Roman Reigns here. We're talking about Bray Wyatt.
You see what I have to go through each time, fans. I'm sorry.
No,
but
he just doesn't want to face the truth.
No, it's no truth.
Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt will be a really stupid rivalry.
Oh, just like Daniel Bryan and The Fiend.
No. A high flyer versus a heavyweight. Just like I said, a great rivalry.
Unbelievable.
Bring 2 heavyweights together. Braun Strowman's push is over.
No.
Why are you gonna give someone whose push is over?
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt's push has been over.
No, it hasn't.
You know how many times they repackaged this man?
Okay, and
Oh Lord!
They literally
Before
just
we
came
go,
out of-
fans, I want to mention one more. Before we go, I want to mention one more draft pick that I was actually that I'm actually enjoying. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
Okay, that I can agree on.
Becky Lynch, flagship of Monday Night
Finally
Raw,
agree
the
on
first
something.
draft pick of Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing that how it's gonna go. And as always, fans, me and my son always going at it with these darn topics.
He doesn't want to face the
Yeah, they face the truth,
You don't want to face the truth.
Anyway, fans, it's that time to go. As always, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Subscribe, please. If you have any questions, concerns, or issues, email us at evolutionofprowrestling@gmail.com. As always, join us every Friday night at 8 p.m. for the best weekly talk show in Florida, as well as our amazing topics with myself, from me, Lewis, my co-host Jaden, and my producer and director, my wife Yesenia. Thank you for joining us, fans, and showing your support. Have a good night.